We're back at it in the garage, and today we got a bunch of stuff going on. We're going to wire up the headlights, we're going to take out the heater core and make room for the air conditioning. Let's get on it. Okay, it is time to actually put some wiring in the car and start connecting stuff. We've got the front light kit here and the engine kit here. These two connectors go together and then they get put onto the bulkhead over here. And that is what we're going to do next. I still got to pull that connector out and all the wiring, but right now I'm just going to push that to the side. I'm going to get all this cleaned up in here first though. And then we're going to start wiring this car. I've now got the airbox out again. The plan is to take out all of this wiring. This is all factory wiring. Heater or the horn relay staying. All that wiring's coming out. All the wiring for the headlights are coming out. I'm going to leave all the other wiring because that's transmission controller, alternator, computer, engine management, but the turn signal and headlight wiring's coming out. This is all fan wiring, that's all staying. So that's what we're working on. But things are coming along pretty good. You know, we got the inside wiring in place. Now I am waiting on one component before I can put the dash in. I ordered a new numbers plate. This clear plastic piece should be in next week. This one's just super scratched up and filthy, and I think that these letters are all faded. They're not very bright and brilliant in the daytime sun, so they're hard to read. So I'm going to go ahead and get that wiring out of the place, and then I'm going to start putting in those wires, the bulkhead wires, and running them through the fender and into the engine compartment so we can start getting that stuff working. And there is the headlight loom out of the car. That wasn't bad. Nice and clean in here now. Okay, we're running wire to the locations they need to go. Coming from the bulkhead up here to the headlights, turn signals, over to the turn signals over there. One thing I really like about this kit is it's easy to remove wires that you're not going to use from the connector bulkhead. You just squeeze that little pin together and they pop right out. This is a fan wire. I won't be using the electric fan wire because that's part of my engine management over there, and that's already pre-wired, so I don't need it. We are definitely moving along. It's kind of a mess over here, but I've got this side's headlights buttoned up. These will all get tied away and straightened up here. I just left myself a little extra. Now we're running wire to the other side to get the other headlights done and the ground in. And then all I gotta do is crimp the turn signals and the horn, and the headlight section is done. We've got the headlights wired on both sides. Wires run underneath the radiator. Well, it still needs to be tied up, but we just got to do the turn signal wiring, which is right here, and horn wiring, and then we're done with that front end of the car. And then we'll get into engine management. Okay, turn signals are done, horns are connected, headlight, all of that's all buttoned up. Everything on that part of the loom is completely handled. So I just have to do the other half, which is engine management, and then put those two connectors together and then seal it all up, and then the bulkhead will be complete. Now comes the fun part: draining the coolant, removing the heater core, inner fender well, and geez, a bunch of other stuff. So we got to get into that. Dave Hicks from Hicks Motorsports and Dave Mobile Works came over and helped me go through the wiring. So all the unnecessary wires have been removed. That's the harness we're going to be installing. We've got the computers disconnected from the fender well so the fender well can come out, and then we're taking the heater core out. All right, the wheel well is out. That was a nice, easy job. Thanks to help from Dave's Mobile Works and Hicks Motorsports. Now we can take out the heater core and the heater box. We've got access to everything we're going to need to get the new AC lines in. Man, this car is coming further and further apart. I was driving this thing just a few days ago, dude.
Not this week.
Fuck. Oh, yeah. Okay, fan blower motor out of the way. So now we can move to the inside and start taking out the heater core box from the inside. So we got to get these cables out of the way, and then it looks like it's already unbolted. It looks like there were studs through the other side, so that thing should just pull out, possibly. Is that what happens? Oh, I got this thing bolted in there. That's for my speedometer. Let me take this thing out real quick, and then we'll get to moving. Looks like the studs on the other side are holding it. We're gonna pry that thing out. Okay, so I gotta cut the hoses. I gotta cut these hoses off, especially this elbow. That's not gonna fly. So yeah, that's gotta come off. All right. Okay, got those hoses out of the way. Now let's get back to pulling that thing out from this side. Bingo. Here it is. There we go. Whew. Controller, work with me. All right, heater box out of the car. All right, heater box out of the way. Man, the pile of parts is building up. Good Lord. This car has been gutted. All right, so now I gotta grind the welds and take this ducting out of here, that V shape. That whole thing's coming out for the defroster because the vintage air kit gets its own. Whew! All right, let's work on that. Yep, we are cutting into this car. It's looking good though. It's coming out clean. Little struggles here and there, but for the most part, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right, let's keep going. So somehow we got to figure out where the spot welds are on this thing. I think I'll just start at the bottom, maybe try chiseling. Got to be careful though, because that is the wall that's underneath this cowl right here. So don't want to accidentally slice into it or do any damage, but let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, so where are these chisel spots I've heard so much about? Looks like there could be one right here. There's one. For sure. half of it. It's keeping up a pretty good fight though. To get in there and see where the other side's connected. I'm making headway. I'm down to one rivet left. And it's behind this bracket. And even though it's bolted on, it's welded on here, so this thing cannot come off, be moved, but I'm down to just that. If I can get it to break free, we'll have it. Getting close. All right, we got that bastard out. Wire. Oh, dude, that was gnarly. And we gotta clean this up, and we gotta fill these holes, because that goes to the outside. Got a few over there too. I'll have to see if I can cut that last bit off. What a pain in the ass. But we got it. Next. Well, after a lot of cutting, chiseling, cussing, I managed to get the defroster vent out of the car. Now the paperwork says that it's spot welded in place with 3 spot welds. I counted 9 on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So old Johnny Boy, Clem, and Douglas over there at the old Baltimore plant in 63 were really going at it with the welder. Thanks, guys. Making headway. Heater box is out. Defroster duct is out. Oh, and I need a beer.